uh, for November 11, getting ready. All my friends who passed away, whenever I am trying to remember them, sometimes I put that uniform on.
He can't hide his history. Walter Szwender is a proud Polish veteran.
I just keep small museum here. Oh boy, falling apart, everything.
Honored for his valor, he was on the winning side of the Second World War.
I was fighting for yours and our freedom. That's how we're always fighting.
But there was no victory parade for him. After the war, Szwender was one of the forgotten soldiers. Unlike most Allied troops who went back to their countries as heroes, the Poles were left homeless. Szwender was taken in by Canada.
I put all my best years for Poland, and Canada was very good to me. So I have to be honest, to be 50-50.
World War II really started in his country, Poland, when Germany invaded September 1939. The Soviets, who signed a non-aggression treaty with Germany, took half of Poland. Many Poles, in a country divided but no longer their own, were shipped off to Siberia.
Yeah, I'm working right now on...
Edward Majejko is Polish, a former U of A professor and an expert in history.
Over 1 million Poles were exiled, were taken to concentration camps in Russia, in the Soviet Union.
Walter Szwender was just 15 when he was sent away.
It took us about 1 month to travel in those cattle cars. It's awful because there was no toilet. They just make a hole in the center of the car, and we were using that, you know.
His father imprisoned, Walter, along with his mother and sister, worked at a farm. When Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1943, all bets were off. The Russians wanted as many troops as they could get to fight the Nazis, including Polish ones.
Polish army during the Second World War was the 4th largest army which fought the Germans. Army in exile. That is, it counted over 200,000 men.
I was 17 and 4 months exactly when I joined. I wasn't old enough, but to survive and to get away from Russia.
Szwender trained in Iran, fought in Italy, was wounded by Germans.
My shrapnel was here.
Szwender was overjoyed when he heard the war was over. However, his country was decimated. Around 17% of its population killed. And the Soviets almost immediately moved into his homeland, formed a communist government, and crushed any hope of an independent Poland. Polish soldiers were stranded.
Many of them who returned were arrested in Poland and then kept in jail. Some of them even lost their lives. They were killed by the regime.
When we find out that half of Poland was given to Russia, we're very disappointed that all those wasted, all those 4 cemeteries in Italy only, 4,000 dead we left behind, was all for nothing. We had no place to go.
Canada stepped up and opened its doors in 1946. Szwender, along with 5,000 single Polish soldiers, started over again in Canada. It's here where he met his wife, Wanda, a Pole who also spent time in Siberia. 58 years ago, she was a waitress in an Edmonton restaurant.
She was the best with potato pancakes. That's why I always remind her, if not those potato pancakes, you still would be single.
Today, Alberta's Polish community is 130,000 strong.
Konarski to był mój kolega, żołnierz.
Every year, Szwender shares the story of stranded soldiers with young Polish Albertans to connect them to their roots.
Polish people went back to school, they learned the language. I mean, my dad came with 25 cents in his pocket. We're a testament to what they've gone through, and that, you know what, all the sacrifices were worth it because we're here and we have a wonderful life.
On Sunday, Shvender attended his 61st consecutive Remembrance Day service. The 83-year-old has never missed one.
I am very, very grateful, of course. No country in the world probably would give me that. But beside that, I don't need much in life. I just always want to remember my friends, especially on a day like Remembrance Day.